NamRA Kachenu, 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 NamRA Kachenu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this edition of NamRA Kachenu, your trusted source of all tax, customs and excise matters. I am Elise Dentlinger and I am delighted to be your host for the next half an hour. In recent developments, NamRA takes center stage at Southern Africa Inter-Revenue Administration Games in Zimbabwe. All that and more coming to you in just a little while. In an effort to strengthen collaboration with other revenue agencies, NamRA took part in the 2025 Southern Africa Revenue Administration Games at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare during the 18th to the 20th April 2025, being a second appearance. Other participating revenue authorities were Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Zambia, and the host Zimbabwe.
Can we say NamRA? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
My brother, yes, this is the game that we saw Zambia leading 3-1. But the interesting part is the part.
It is our pleasure as your Zimbabwe Revenue Authority to hand over to the next host, who is NamRA, here represented by our commissioner from NamRA. And ceremonially, allow me to hand over this battle stick to you. There we go. You may therefore
what can I do to become relevant? The first thing I decided, I said I'll join the soccer team of the high school. I joined the soccer school, I joined the soccer team. And during that time I was very prolific. It was the goals that I scored during that time, it's even better than the magnificent goal that I scored yesterday with my left against Zambia.
After the break, we will be joined by Ms. Hilma Shomongula, Senior Account Officer in Finance and Corporate Services Department in NamRA. Welcome back, and we are now joined by Ms. Hilma Shomongula, Senior Account Officer in Finance Department in NamRA. Good day, Hilma, and a warm welcome to NamRA Kachenu.
Good afternoon, Elise. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Hilma, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Also, give us just a bit of your professional background as well.
Okay. I started with the Ministry of Finance under the Inland Revenue Department at the Division of Recoveries. I then moved to the Tax Administration and Support Services. And that's before now I joined the Accounts Payable within the Finance Department.
Okay, so Hilma, tell us, could you give us a brief overview of the accounts payable process and explain how it supports NamRA's overall operations?
Accounts payable process now involves the receiving and the verification on invoices and then payment processing. And that's for all the goods and services rendered to NamRA. Now, once goods and services are rendered, a supplier then submits their invoices. On our side, our team do the verification just as to ensure that you are in compliance with our financial policies, and that's before any payment is then processed. This process is very critical to NamRA as we maintain the operational efficiency of the organization. How do we do that? This is in line with our strategic objectives, which is to optimize organizational efficiency. Now, how do we do this? We now do this by ensuring that we accurately and pay also the suppliers on time. That's now with regards to the payment agreement as per our procurement and what is also reflecting on what we call your award letter.
So, Ms. Hilma, what key documents and information must service providers submit to ensure timely and accurate payments?
To ensure that payments are done timely and are accurate, the service provider should then provide a valid tax invoice as prescribed by Section 21 of our Income Tax Number 1 of 1981. Additionally, on that, the service provider must also submit supporting documents, which is a delivery note or a certificate of completion, which will be signed off by NamRA employee just to confirm that the goods had been indeed delivered. Additionally, on that, the service provider must submit a statement of account and also ensure that their banking details are correct.
So what common challenges do you normally encounter when you process payments? Because, challenges do come with our jobs. And how can our clients avoid these challenges?
Okay, common challenges now would be when there is a mismatch between the invoice and either the delivery note or and the certificates of completion, or there is also a mismatch between the invoice and now the PO that was rendered, which is the letter of award. That one, when those mismatch happen, it will now cause delays within payments because we need to resolve that before any payment is done. Another one is when suppliers, or let me refer to them as vendor, when they provide banking details that are either incorrect or there is a mismatch between the banking details that are either provided as per a letter from the bank or the invoices. Technically, mostly, those are the common challenges. Maybe it's the vendors just need to ensure and cross-check their information before they submit. Those are the banking details. Those are any other things on the supplier documents.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Hilma, can you tell us, communication, like we all know, is key. So to enable our clients to maintain effective communication with our accounts payable department, who can they contact if they would have any queries about their payments?
I do believe good communication in everything is key. Service provider ideally should conduct the name of the person who's put as inquiry on their letter of award. But when it comes to payment, there is an email for accounts payable that works as a center point where everything is coming from. That's accounts payable at namra.org.na. Any query that the service provider have, they can just send it to that email. We will respond to that.
Okay. So, Hilma, is there any last final message that you would like to convey to our clients out there?
I would love to thank our service provider, and I want to appreciate you for the service that you have provided to NamRA. Your contributions to NamRA has ensured that our operation runs smoothly. Thank you. And I just want to encourage you that you should always submit your invoices on time. You should submit them with relevant documentation, which you should cross-check that they are correct. And once again, I want to thank you for your continued support.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hilma, for joining us today here at NamRA Kachenu. It was really a truly pleasant conversation that we just had. And we here at NamRA Kachenu want to wish you all the best and all the success with your role within NamRA.
Thank you, Elise, for having me.
So, and that was Ms. Hilma Shomongula, Senior Account Officer in the Finance Department of NamRA. We will be right back after this. In the next insert, we will focus on how to register on ITAS in NamRA Nama.
Princess, tidak kekler sekana sistem onha. Sedikit nampi abdi kue isa marit hong waperos NamRA's ay asisenha. ITAS huamisens arumaha dan kalau desaura se hobasenre.
Turo tan haros en wabasa tuing unre am kasens am sitke halebani hoba amsen tam en tan haros neba kainre tiramima kairos e kainre ip hwamisen e heran haleba hoba amsen ngonang en tan haros hwamisen e habeb ka a hoba amsen o waraka chainga swan hia tamiros chara ngai kauhena khwatanga tinga bahu maka tira di ahwa isa kais e angre hagan tang haros avoko casting habeb kenisini koba amsen emails mausko avoko tas chara are haisisa asinhe kaisti tongtos ase korong tang haros avoko tas cha a are sa emails a kainre isa hwamisens haveba hwatanga sa di chwa ho kare nan tang haros emails a ha avoko sauce a kara kainhe oige itsama ahwamisen e kain habe hwatanga has amsi an homisaba ni khereha hun intanan haros sa emails extra season uns si emails an miam upasen sti kantasa hwamudi tamaska iyo mati kanta si amtasen di ahwa isa kais e angre kaisan tang haros eins na uma karare hwa kasens amse am kasens di swap e ge ngai a misen habe bani oba amsen marisi hotas e a kausa tui isa hanusin ams matare ause am kasens di ahwa isapa ngai hakwe I amse inin am kasen e kaus kara io oike nung kaiba ausen am kasen di ahwa isa kais eni anghe kwesen tang haros am kasens ka adi ho he ho oike korin haris have eni uyamsen ti ma kaus etni hwamisen tau kausa ni mati kwe isa kau chadi ti paraku ngon amsa kai haku ke koran unsa seneba ni paratangai orisa se ti tau pahan ainstra kwe isa kau chadi ti paraku amsa kai haka komai ti hwaisa a di ahwa isa kais etangre itsaura tang harusan wa haruhoka turungas asira hwamisen tamaska iyo ngai kongamisa mariho se tans aiha tuwi isa hanusin amse hwamisen ha matare ause am kasens aroma
Kan hwamisen aroma Princess Adumare.
let us focus on how to file returns with the Pay 5 and retirement annuities and study policies in Afrikaans.
Hallo en welkom. My naam is Natasha van Zyl. In vandag se video gaan ons kyk hoe om u belastingopgawe korrek in te dien as u beleggings soos aftreeannuïteite en studiefondspolisse het. Kom ek neem u stap vir stap deur die proses. Stap 1. Ga na die ITAS webwerf. Voer u gebruikersnaam en wagwoord in en klik op Meld aan. Stap 2. Klik op die opsie Return. Kies My Returns. Stap 3. Klik op Search Your Return en kies die opgawe wat u wil indien. Stap 4. Kies die normale vormtipe om voort te gaan. Stap 5. As u 'n studiepolis het, is skedule 2 verpligtend. Maak skedule 2 oop en voer dan die name en geboortedatums van die begunstigdes in. Stap 6. Ga na skedule 3 en maak seker dat die inkomstebedrag korrek in die skedule verskyn voordat u toelaatbare aftrekkings invoer. Rol af tot by Contributions to an Approved Retirement Annuity Fund. Voer dan die naam van die aftreefonds, die registrasienommer en die bydrae vir die belastingjaar soos aangedui op die aftreeannuïteitsertifikaat. Rol verder af tot by Study Policy Assurance Company. Voer dan die naam van die studiepolis versekeringmaatskappy in, die polisnommer en die premies betaal vir die belastingjaar soos aangedui op die studiepolis bydrae sertifikaat. Rol af tot by taxable income en bevestig of die belasbare inkomstebedrag korrek is. Die belasbare inkomstebedrag word bereken deur die totale inkomste te neem en u toelaatbare aftrekkings van die bedrag af te trek. Stap 7. Ga na skedule 17 en bevestig of die ingehoue loonbelastingbedrag ooreenstem met die bedrag op u LBS 5 sertifikaat. Stap 8. Ga na skedule 24 en beantwoord die volgende 2 vrae. Vraag 1. Is u die eienaar van die huis waarin u woon? Indien wel, merk ja. Indien nie, verskaf asseblief die eienaar se naam, belastingnommer en die totale huurbedrag betaal vir die 12 maande van die belastingjaar. Vraag 2. Is u in besit van 'n maatskappy voertuig? Dui dit asseblief ook aan. Rol af en merk die blokkie om te verklaar dat die inligting waar en korrek is. Stap 9. Rol op tot by die bylahouer en laai al die verpligte dokumente op. Die verpligte dokumente sal wees die LBS 5 sertifikaat, die aftreeannuïteitsertifikaat en die studiepolis bydrae sertifikaat. Stap 10. Voer dan die verifikasiekode in en klik op Submit. Dankie dat u die video gekyk het. Onthou, belastingseisoen hoef nie stresvol te wees nie. Wees voorbereid en dien betyds in. Sterkte met u indiening. Totsiens.
Here are the trivia of duties.
Did you know? Employees tax also known as pay-as-you-earn, is imposed on employees through their employers, and it's calculated based on individual income tax rates.
Do you want to make a payment for your tax debts? Here are the available options.
My name is Angela Kamui, Senior Revenue Treasury Officer at NamRA. I'm going to take you through the process of making payments to our NamRA offices. We have 4 modes of payments which are acceptable at our offices, which are direct deposits, cash payments, electronic fund transfers, and speed points machines. When making electronic fund transfers, we have 2 accounts available for our taxpayers, which is Receiver of Revenue, account 165001, and the VAT dedicated account 165060. When making a direct deposit, our taxpayers need to fill this deposit slip at their commercial bank. You need to have your TIN with you. The TIN consists of 8 characters, and then you should also know the period that you are making the payment for. When making an electronic fund transfer, for your penalty or interest liability due to NamRA, you use the EFT referencing example as shown on the screen. It also has 19 characters, but on the tax type and tax period, you put 999, indicating that the payment is account payment. When making electronic fund transfers, EFT referencing example is shown on the screen, which comprises of 19 characters. The taxpayer reference number comprises of 5 parameters, which are as follows. 1. Represent the payment method, in this case, EFT payment. 06. Office of registration or your return office. The 8th character represents your tax identification number. 14 is tax type, in this case, employees tax. 2018-06 is the tax period for which the payment is meant for.
the previous episode, we asked, where does NamRA advertise vacant positions? Here's the answer: the NamRA official website, online recruitment portal, social media platforms, for example, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Question for this episode is, what is the email address where suppliers can reach the finance department for any payment-related inquiries at NamRA? Kindly email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 15th of May 2025. We will announce the winner in the next episode.
And with that, we conclude this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We hope the information shared has been insightful and valuable. Join us again in 2 weeks for more updates and discussions. Until then, stay informed, stay compliant, and from all of us here at NamRA Kachenu, goodbye.